Good mid-morning, y'all. Whatever you call it, 11:30, what you call it, early afternoon, but hey, whatever you call it, hope it's good. All right, it is time for a story out of We Had Everything But Money. Now, the one I picked was Poor Prices Changed Corn from Feed to Fuel. And this was from Marjorie Paneitz in Berryville, Arkansas. I was in my early teens when the Depression hit. We lived on a farm in Iowa. So even with a family of 6, there was never a shortage of food. We all pitched in to can pork, beef, and had chicken, eggs, milk, and vegetables from our garden. Now, you see, I remember my mom telling me stories about how her mom would make like fried chicken. One neighbor over here would make something. Each neighbor brought something. And that's the kind of thing she was talking about here, to can pork and beef. Yeah, people did that back then. I mean, they probably did pressure can. Anyway, though we didn't go hungry, we did have a problem finding enough money to buy the things we could not produce ourselves. When the price of corn dropped 10 cents a bushel, it was not economically practical to sell it so that we could go out and buy expensive coal. There was always plenty of corn cobs to fire the cook stove in the kitchen. But the furnace needed something else. Wood was not plentiful on the Ohio prairie. My parents decided the sensible thing to do was to burn whole ears of corn in the furnace. Much as they hated the thought, I'll never forget the day when my father backed up to the basement window and dumped a wagon load of corn into the furnace room. It turned out to be a good fuel, as it held a fire well and got us through a long winter. Still, shoveling those big, beautiful ears of corn into the furnace may have been the hardest thing my father ever had to do. It was that winter that his hair started to turn gray. It started turning gray because he was taking corn that could have been feeding his kids, but they had plenty of other stuff to feed the kids. What they did not have enough of was fuel. So, in an SHTF situation, we now know you can take a whole ear of corn, throw it in the fire, and you're set. If you can get enough of them, you can burn them. As heartbreaking as it is to do that, because that's vitamins, it's nutrients that you're not getting, but you're benefiting in another way. So, if you have stories like this, if you have, great aunts and uncles and grandparents who survived the Great Depression, please put the stories below. I would love to read them and share them. It is just absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to leave y'all a link to Lisa Sutton's chat she did last night with this absolutely darling little old lady named Miss Berlin, and she talked about how her and her husband survived the Depression by canning, gardening, doing as much as they could to provide their own food. I'll give you that link. I think you're going to love this little old lady. Just the absolute most sweetest, darling little old lady, grandma ever. I will see you guys later.